You are live on 98.9 Northwest FM. I'm Nathan, as always joined by James. What's something that's made you happy this week, James?
The new season of South Park is the first episode came out.
Yeah.
So that's and it was a
good one.
pretty good one.
I'd say that's also what's made me happy this week too.
Yeah.
Especially since we missed the season last year.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years since the last proper season.
So it's good to have it back, and also to have a good turnaround time that's referencing events that are happening now is good too. Because obviously the most recent episode caused controversy because they're baiting some legal issues, which is always a good time.
Famously, South Park, they make their episodes like the week leading up to the premiere of the date of the release.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always super topical, and this time they went really hard.
Yeah, and it always makes it fun because when you watch it, you don't know what you can expect.
Especially in this, political climate where you just like everything's so crazy, and it's just like, I don't know, something needs to be done.
Maybe Matt and Trailer wants to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, also joined by Alan. What's going on, Alan? What's something that's made you happy in the last week?
I won $160 at the pokies.
Not that we endorse gambling.
The luckiest man.
Hey. All right, you lose more than you win.
The next day I lost $100, but I'm still up 60.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, so you lose more than you win, kids. Please don't gamble.
Don't gamble. Stay away from it.
This is not an endorsement.
But I did win.
It's fine for Alan because he's an AI.
Alan rigs the he touches the poker machine, and his AI his AI hacks it.
He injects the algorithms and the hacker nonsense.
Yes.
Anyway, we're going to start off with some positive vibes.
What's made you happy? So was that, or you just picked South Park?
Yeah,
right.
I'll pick South Park.
Yeah.
Well, I can give you something else.
Callum's not here; he's off sick. But his thing was going to be the pizza we had on the weekend.
That's also an acceptable answer.
I think all of us could agree that.
Yeah. We had a local pizza venue. I think we can name. Should we name them?
I think so.
It's a positive thing, right?
Yeah.
Chicho's down the road from the studio.
Yeah, it's
great
like
pizza
really
place.
good wood fire pizza.
It's one of those hipster venues. You go on Saturday night and there's going to be a band or an old man DJ, or there's always something kind of hipster going on there.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
Yeah, no, but the pizza there is next level.
Yeah, I mean it's double the cost of a normal pizza place, but you're getting the restaurant quality pizza.
Yeah, very, very good.
It's very, very good.
Before we get into the episode as well, I just want to shout out the YouTube. We're almost at 100 subscribers. So please, if you're listening, tell a friend, tell another friend. Subscribe to the YouTube at Tuesday Review AU, the Tuesday Review YouTube. We've got YouTube exclusive videos, and we've got interviews, and hopefully we'll have more stuff up on there soon. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. Speaking of YouTube, friend of the show, Jack Squarepeg, released a little video essay about how journalism is really important to the new Superman movie. So check that out as well.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move into it. We'll start with good vibes, and we'll start with re-watching Happy Gilmore 1.
Well, I'll do together real quick.
Oh, yes, together.
Yeah, so Callum and I were lucky enough to see an advanced screening of Together, which is the sort of body horror movie starring Dave Franco and
his beau.
Alison Brie, who are married in real life, and who star in the movie as a couple who they moved to like a small house in the wood, in a rural area, and some crazy stuff happens, and their bodies start to literally try to magnetically drawn to each other and try to merge with each other. So it's a body horror kind of weird kind of sci-fi, sort of thing, but it's obviously about their codependent relationship and how their dynamic works. Both Callum and I really enjoyed it. Callum was supposed to be here this week to talk about it, but he couldn't be here. So maybe he'll bring it up again next week if he has a chance. But yeah, I'll just say it comes out this Thursday, July 31st. I'd say it's definitely worth checking out. I really liked it. The effects are really good. The gory body horror.
Is it a lot of physical prosthetics?
Yes, it's
or is it CG?
A lot of it's practical, but there's also some CGI which looked good. Which, coming from me, that says a lot because I hate CGI. Any CGI, even if it's quote unquote good. So most of it's practical, and there is some cool, like, weird, goopy, practical stuff. But then there's also some good CGI. There is one shot at the end which I didn't like, which is all CGI. But other than that, looked
Was
good.
it like a men moment?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that
Spoilers,
extreme. Yeah. No, and it's only like one shot at the end. So, but otherwise, it looked really good. It was I think the director's Australian, Michael Shanks, and it's shot in.
I heard through the grapevine that is Callum and James that you can see a V line in one shot.
Yeah, there is a shot where he goes to the train station and there's a V line. But
it's meant to be in America.
It's an American. It's an American. It's set in America, but they shot it here because I guess is cheaper. But
once again, I have hallucinated, and I thought you said her V line for a second.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you get close to that too.
On that note, I was always wondering. Like, I wondered about this movie specifically, just like thinking out loud. I'm like, I wonder what the intimacy coordinator's like on the movie like that. Are they just like, nah, we're fine?
Well, I mean, they are married in real life, so I guess that kind of
adds an element of like authenticity to the movie as far as
and
go.
also.
But, like also when like married actors and they're like they're a couple in the film. I'm like, what's that kind of dynamic like?
Yeah.
I mean, is it easier? Is it more awkward for like other parts of the cast, or is it kind of, how does that? I'd be interested to know, like, behind the scenes, how that dynamic is different.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine it would just make things easier.
You'd hope so.
And then the intimacy coordinator's like, I don't like that.
Well, they don't even need the But I think it's a really good body horror. There were parts of it I really liked. It looked nice. Like, the special effects were good. It does suffer from the night scenes very too dark, which is a problem we've talked about on many modern movies. I also would have liked maybe a little bit more development between their relationship, like their dynamic and their codependency, and how that sort of factors into the sort of body horror aspect of it. And also, like, I like it gets kind of I like when movies get crazy, especially towards the end. The movie gets kind of crazy, and I think it leans into some of the humor. I wouldn't say it's not comedy or anything, but it leans into some of the absurdness of the body horror, which I really liked as well. And I don't know how you'd pull it off, but I wish there was more of that. But then again, that would make the movie very different. So I can't think just off the top of my head, but of what movies to compare it to. But I would say, if you like body horror, definitely check this movie out. Together, it comes out this Thursday, July 31st. So, yeah.
Excellent. Before we talk about another horror movie, we're going to talk about a comedy.
Yeah.
So we rewatched Happy Gilmore, the classic, the OG.
Yeah.
In the middle of what can be considered the golden period for Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I mean, this was sort of his second big kind of starring role, because Billy Madison was 95 and Happy Gilmore was 96. So Happy Gilmore, a huge like comedy classic. I think from the 90s.
People.
Billy Madison's the one where he's like,
goes back to school.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not all perfect movies in this run, but he had a good few years where he released bangers. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like, people forget. He's a bit of a people consider him a bit of a jokey kind of Netflix comedy, trashy filmmaker now, and he has some good dramatic roles recently.
Yeah.
But this run alone is worthy of goathood.
Yeah.
Like, had 1996 had Happy Gilmore.
So Billy Madison 95, Happy Gilmore 96.
Billy Madison 95, Happy Gilmore 96. 98 had The Wedding Singer and The Waterboy. 99 had Big Daddy and Juice Bigelow, Male Gigolo as in Little Side
Well, he was
piece.
only in the cameo.
And 2000 had Little Nicky.
Yeah.
2002, Punch Drunk Love. I know he was just an actor in that.
Well, but that's a classic.
That's a classic movie. And then 2002, Mr. Deeds. Whether you like it or not, I still think
that
it's
one was
fun.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
51st Dates was after that. That one was okay.
That was 2004, yeah, so 2 years. But so he had a run of like a good 5-6 years where he was just like solid.
Yeah, his late 90s, early 2000s run was amazing. And one of my big problems, as we've probably discussed on the show before, is that Callum and Nathan love Adam Sandler unconditionally. Even his Netflix straight to sloppy, straight to streaming.
Let's put that in context. That was pre Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, well, this is where
this is where I draw the line.
No, but we'll get to that later. Where it's like, okay, even you can admit where something is,
I think some of his Netflix movies are fun. This was a dumpster fire, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
But my point is like because Callum and Nathan, they love him so unconditionally that they'll defend some of his Netflix slop, and I'll always be like, no, that sucks, and then they'll be like, oh, you hate Adam Sandler. I'm like, no. I love all those movies, 90s movies we just mentioned. Billy Madison I've watched a billion times over and over again. Happy Gilmore I've watched a billion times. And obviously Punch Drunk Love, Maya with Stories, and Uncut Gems, his more dramatic work, incredible. So I've always just been like more selective with the Adam Sandler stuff that I'm sort of drawn to. Or know I'm going to or not like.
Also respect to his two most recent live shows on Netflix. They were actually pretty good.
Yeah, those are good. The stand-up shows.
Yeah, the stand-up shows. Those are good.
Those are good. Yeah. So like in preparation for Happy Gilmore 2, which is coming straight to Netflix, which I probably wouldn't have bothered to watch if it wasn't for you guys and the show. So we rewatched the first one, and just rewatching it. And like I said, I'd seen it a million times, but it'd been a while since I rewatched it. But rewatching it, I was just like, this is the kind of movie we don't get anymore. And this is the kind of movie we talk about almost every week on the show, of like just a silly comedy, but a well-made movie with a bit of a budget, a bit of a production value. It's colorful. It looked, good.
Yeah,
sounded
it's very
good.
Colorful. It
was a real movie.
Yeah, I'm actually going to retroactively change my what made me happy this week because I just remember something else. Did you see the Naked Gun new little promo teaser?
Oh, the PSA.
Yeah. That was really funny. That made me happy.
Yeah, and that ties into to what I'm talking about is like...
So let's keep... for the audience listening at home, the new PSA is basically in the style of one of those kind of donate to like... adopt an orphan kind of dealios they used to show on the TV back in like the 90s. Like... you
sponsor a child
today. Sponsor a child today. Those kinds of things. But it's sponsor it's like sponsor a comedy movie kind of
It's
deal.
Liam Neeson playing his character from the new Naked Gun reboot, and he's like sitting with a black background, and he's like
very much 80s.
He's talking
90s,
about he's like talking about it's like we have to keep comedies alive.
And it's like every year a comedy comes out to no one watching.
Yeah. And he's talking about like how, if you don't, he's basically saying come out to see Naked Gun because if you don't like comedy, like will die and stuff. And what was great about it is like it showed all these clips from old comedies, and just seeing that, it was like a reminder of like, we really don't get these movies at the cinema anymore, and they used to be real movies, and Happy Gilmore is a perfect example of that. Which, I mean, no one watches Happy Gilmore and thinks, wow, what great cinematography or whatever. But when you watch it, you're like...
That actually looks good.
This looks nice. It's colorful. There's depth. It's like a lot of location, the golf courses and stuff. There's lots of people and extras around. Like there's special effects and stuff. Like practical effects, I should say. Like it looks good and it sounds good. And you just don't get that anymore.
No.
And...
Yeah, like that was the one thing that I hadn't seen it in a while. I rewatched it in like January, but rewatching it again, I really just noticed the color.
Really
I was like,
pops.
it's so colorful. It pops. All the colors are vibrant.
Yeah.
And it's specifically, you don't get that anymore. Everything's brown and washed out.
Yeah.
And as you said,
flat,
there's lots of depth
digital,
and flat.
Yeah. Whereas, and also it's something we all really appreciate, which you don't get as much anymore, is it's just a silly comedy. It's about being funny. There's a plot. There's some characters, but really it's about the jokes and like the silly scenarios.
It's the extension of the joke. Like he breaks Chubb's fingers, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, that's all right. I'll super glue them on." And then he accidentally throws Chubb's hand out onto the road.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, that's right. I'll pick it up." And eventually gets crushed by
A truck.
A truck.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Like, it's just classic.
I think just go with that hand.
Yeah, Alan turned to me. He's just like this comedy.
Yeah.
Like, this
Yeah.
is, it's just like, what's a funny bit we can do for this scene without it feeling like a bunch of like unrelated sketches or vignettes. It's like still a plot-driven movie.
What adds to the humor as well and the silliness is that obviously he's just holding that because his one arm is so much longer than the other.
Oh, yeah, and it makes it funnier because
and it makes it funny.
Clearly he's got his normal hand and then the fake hand on top.
Because one arm is like
It's
super
just
long
super
and no one mentions it.
But the fact that the arm and like the aspect of the arm and the alligator continues its way through the whole film.
Yeah.
Just the alligator missing
Yeah,
the
and then
eye.
the alligator comes and he's like fighting the alligator. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It also, like, one thing that I think is really strong about the movie, and again is why a lot of these older movies are quote unquote better than newer stuff, is like just the casting is really good. Like, Carl Weathers as Chubbs is a small role as the mentor, but it's like perfect. He's got that like gravitas, that Apollo Creed like baggage that comes from his previous, Rocky appearances, and it just, and obviously Adam Sandler was his own force of nature. And then you've got all the other, and Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin is like one of the legendary
perfect villain,
like comedy villain. Like, he's so good, and all the other characters as well, like, and actors. Like, it's just like we've talked about it before, Nathan. Like, we watch a lot of these streaming movies, and it's just like whether the cast is good or not, it's always kind of just flat. A lot of that is the filmmaking isn't as good, the writing isn't as good. But yeah, like, so you watch these old movies and you're like, damn, like even the little bit characters and background is like, oh, so perfect. Like even the jackass guy, so good.
Yeah.
And Bob Barker, like that whole scene, the whole fight scene with Bob Barker is legendary.
He just gets his ass kicked by Bob Barker.
Yeah. Well, like, when's the last time you saw something like that in a comedy where it's just like this awesome fist fight that's so ridiculous?
Bob Barker would have been massive then too.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like I'm trying to think of a celebrity. It's like similar sort of. I guess game shows aren't really as popular or the same as.
No, but back then he would have been like one of the biggest people on TV.
Yeah, he was a legend, and like it makes it funnier because it's like this,
It's an old man, but he's like whoops his ass here. It's so good,
bitch. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, it's just so many great moments, and so many iconic lines. You're gonna die, clown.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another bit. When they go to the mini golf course, and there's all these really elaborate mini golf sort of courses, and I'm like, whether they built that or found a location, like, it just amazing. You don't see that in movies anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, and it's just a small part of the movie. But, it felt like a real big movie.
One thing I've always wondered about golf movies, specifically, because golf's hard, man. Like, I haven't played much golf. I play a little bit, every now and again. Historically, I guess. Mini golf. But golf is hard,
that
right?
doesn't count.
But, like, I always wonder with those shots, like they're hitting it over the green. Obviously, they fake the ones where they
That's the other thing.
hit it longer. And, like, how many takes would it have taken Adam Sandler to actually put in the hole? Some of those shots.
Well,
I'm like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be any good.
A lot of the putting where they put it actually in the hole is like they cut. They have Adam Sandler, and then it cuts to a close up.
And there's a pro doing it, and then
there's one shot of where Christopher McDonald wanted to do the whole thing in one shot, so you can see him get it. And apparently, I think they gave him 7 takes, and he got it in 5.
Okay.
And so his reaction of going like, with the finger guns was actually real. But yeah, so obviously this is another reason why Happy Gilmore, the original, is like part of that sort of great old comedies, is because it's like they put the effort into the filmmaking, and like they're not just like, let's CGI the ball or let's do it as quickly and cheaply as possible. It's like the golf scenes are well shot, and I mean, you don't see the whole game, but it's like, when they're doing it, it looks kind of real. And,
like I was impressed.
It's entertaining.
It's edited well enough that I didn't know. Like, it seemed very.
And even when
very solid to me.
when Happy does his like massive swing and like hits the ball, and it does that thing where it's like going over the course in like really fast motion and following, and then
it's like the camera point of view for the ball.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, like it's awesome. And it's again one of those things we talk about on the show a lot. Is like, oh, how do they do that? That's awesome. It feels like a real movie. It's special effects for a dumb comedy where they're hitting a golf ball, but it's like this amazing thing that you don't see in many movies anymore,
100%.
Especially comedies.
Yeah.
So rewatching it was a really good time. We all laughed our asses off. Alan hadn't seen the whole thing before, I don't think.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the whole thing.
But it's definitely... I feel like it's an Alan movie. Like it's definitely up in your wheelhouse of humor and like just silliness.
Just him like starting out the movie, shooting an nail into his boss's head.
Yeah.
Actually, that's another good thing about this movie. Like that little montage of like kind of
at the beginning,
the nostalgia bait at the start, all the home movies that kind of set up his relationship with his grandmother.
Yeah, the whole grandma thing.
It's that's done really well too.
And the dream sequences are really funny. Yeah, and it just like also this has before I forget, this has a Kiss reference where his grandmother would dress up as Gene Simmons to make him happy. And then we were talking about role models last week, I think, and Kiss is an important part of that.
Role Models is the only movie Gene Simmons ever gave permission himself to use the Kiss music and likenesses.
But there have been other movies with Kiss music, right?
Not with his blessing.
Not with his blessing. But he doesn't own the rights.
Ooh.
Because if he didn't give blessing,
I don't know. But this was the only movie he was on board with.
Role Models,
Role Models,
yeah. Because there'd probably be like
there'd be a situation where they pay the label some money.
Yeah, the label would negotiate.
Yeah. Because because I know usually it's just the label, and it's like whether the artist hates it or not doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But then there are specific, like Led Zeppelin, like they own their music, so it's like that's why you don't hear a lot of Led Zeppelin in movies or whatever it is. I can't remember that.
I just like the fact that Gene Simmons liked Role Models so much. He was at the premiere. He was involved in the movie. He loved everything about it.
Yeah, and Role Models is another classic comedy that Alan will really like when he gets around to seeing it. But just to bring it up quickly, because I did rewatch it because Nathan rewatched it and I hadn't seen it in a very long time, so I rewatched it as well. It's another movie. It came out in 2008. Which doesn't feel like that long ago, but also is almost 20 years. We're getting old. And it's another movie where it's like, it's not, you don't think of Role Models and go, oh, that's a well shot, well made movie. But you're watching it. I was watching it now. I'm like, it's a real movie.
Yeah.
It looks like a real movie. It sounds like a real movie.
Even the whole Lair LARPing thing, right? They put effort into that.
The whole,
you know what I mean?
And the whole one thing I really liked about, I like the whole movie, but one thing I really liked about it that I think makes it successful as a whole is the end sequence at the LARPing event. Like the whole climax is really satisfying.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun. And that's like another dumb comedy that they don't make anymore. So that's really, and that's like got a lot of great lines and great music as well. That's a classic. We'll maybe talk about that again.
We'll have to go deep.
We'll do a spoiler.
We'll
have to do that off live so we can quote some of the lines.
I think we're down there. We have to do that.
We can only quote a couple of lines before we have to.
or we have to come into studio after 9:00.
Yeah. One line I can say is, "You white, you Ben Affleck."
It's true. That's a good. You are white.
It's like it's true. Yeah, and we were talking about Paul Rudd last week. Yeah, he's so good.
Anyway, So classic comedies, they don't make him anymore. But, I'm excited to see The Naked Gun, as I said before. But,
we'll hopefully that lives up.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Should we go to a break and then talk about Happy Gilmore 2?
Yeah, if we have to.
We'll get it out of the way.
We'll go to a very quick break, and we'll be back with more right after these quick messages. You are back on the Tuesday Review, talking all things Happy Gilmore 2 right now. So, look, it's one of those things where legacy sequels, they don't have the best track record, and this doesn't break the mold.
Especially straight to stream, as much as I don't like to badmouth streaming because I think good movie is a good movie, doesn't matter where it appears, where it's available. I do think, and something we've talked about, how a lot of straight to streaming movies are just content to fill a sort of AI driven, sort of algorithm driven sort of model.
Infinite growth for the boys.
Exactly, yeah. Not for the boys, for the corporations, for the corps. But yeah, Happy Gilmore 2. I mean, any legacy sequel we've talked about is like probably not going to be great. Any reboot cool, any sort of thing like that. And Happy Gilmore 2 being a straight to Netflix movie, and as I said earlier, Adam Sandler's sort of Netflix slop output over the last 10 plus years has sort of, not been great. So just that fact, I was just like, yeah, probably not going to be good. Like I said, I probably wouldn't watch it if it wasn't for you guys in the show. But I didn't know, I didn't realize how bad it was going to get.
Yeah, I know. Neither did I. Neither did anyone. People at work, I asked 3 people at work who had seen it, and every one of them said it was the worst movie they've seen in the entire year.
Really?
So it's not just us.
I actually had my supervisor give it a positive rating.
That's what I was going to say. It's like there are a lot of people who are actually like, oh, it's so good, it lives up to the original, whatever.
It does not.
And yeah, and I was just like, what movie did you watch? Yeah, I mean, where to begin? I think...
Oh, let's start at the full spoilers, because we can't address...
full?
Well, I mean, so how hard do we want to address it? Do you know what I mean?
Let's start off non-spoilers, and then at the end, we'll sort of...
All right, non-spoilers, the movie starts in a weird fashion.
Yes.
And then it stays weird but not terrible, and then I would say the back half tanks the film.
So first thing is, as we just got done discussing with classic comedies and the original Happy Gilmore, those were real movies.
Mm.
They might not be Godfather levels of filmmaking, but they were real movies. Happy Gilmore 2 is a straight to streaming content. It might have a bit of a budget behind it, but it looks flat and ugly. It's, very digital, flat, brown, grey kind of. There's color, but it's that muted Marvel MCU color that we complain about, where you can tell it's colorful, but it's all flat and ugly. It doesn't look or sound as good as the original or a lot of other classic comedies. And the other biggest problem, well, there's a lot of problems.
I was going to say the writing.
But
the 800 cameos.
Yeah, so the other thing is it's not
real narration.
Like I said earlier, the original movie is not complex or genius or anything, but it's like it has a plot and then it laces the comedy throughout that, and it's got characters and you care about what's going on, and there's a premise to it. Happy Gilmore 2 is like it waffles on for a good half an hour to an hour, and then you sort of get a sort of beginnings of a plot, and then it waffles on for another half an hour, and then there's like a big half an hour like ending sequence. Most of the runtime is cameos from other comedians, other actors, athletes, musicians, just anyone who Adam Sandler likes or knows. Like, it's basically not a movie, and it's not a I guess in a way it's a series of sketches, but none of them are funny, and a lot of the sketches is, hey, just here's this famous person.
The only one I think that James liked as well was there's one kind of theme throughout the first half an hour where he has a liquor problem.
Oh yeah, Happy Gilmore develops a drinking problem, and the one joke I liked in the movie was that he hides booze in like everyday items. So there's good. He's at a grocery store and he unscrews like a cucumber and he drinks out of it, and he's like on the golf course and he unscrews the top of his club.
That was well done, yeah.
And I was like, and then the joke. It's a recurring joke, so he just, has trophies around the house full of booze. I'm like, this is funny. that's a classic comedy kind of silly thing.
Yeah.
And then there's like it kind of goes away for a while, and then he has a flask on his phone, and I was like, that's a good joke.
Yeah.
I also like one sort of cameo I did like is John Lovett's, the way he says, "Go back to your mobile home."
Yeah.
So funny. But yeah, other than that, the movie is not funny. All the jokes are, I don't know, like, I don't want to say dad joke, but just not funny. Like really, really rudimentary, dumb, and not in a good way dumb. Like, yeah, it's just stuff that's not, I don't know who, maybe they didn't have a script and they're just like, oh, funny person, do a cameo and then we'll just...
It wouldn't surprise me if the movie had like an idea, like obviously there's a basic path, you know, and they just kind of winged it.
I think, yeah, especially because it is so long, like, because there's a, the original movie is 90 minutes.
This was nearly 2 hours.
This was almost 2 hours, yeah. And we got to the almost 90-minute point, and I said, the first movie is over by now. This movie is exhausting. Yeah. It's still got half an hour left. And Nathan was like, no way. And I said, yes, it does. And you clicked the progress bar, and we had another half an hour, and it was just getting into the sort of big climax with the competition at the end.
Oh, God.
And it just kept going, and it was just so bad.
And it got weird in a bad way, and it got worse.
Yeah.
The thing that kind of really rubbed me wrong about it is, I understand making references to the previous film. And that's...
Oh, yeah.
Look, I understand that, but when you push it so hard, and then you also got to show clips from the movie.
Yeah, every time like someone from the original movie would come onto screen, it would like cut to this
flashback,
to a flashback scene from the first movie.
You don't need that. Like, to be fair, we watched the previous one just before.
Yeah,
but like the audience need like... You should let the audience do that bit of memory for themselves.
Exactly, and it's also it lends itself to, it's not a real movie because it's just content. It's like, here's for people who didn't watch the original or haven't seen it recently. They're just chucking it on Netflix. It's like giving you all the context. There's no nuance. There's no. So
you can
subtlety.
have your phone in your hand. And you can be browsing.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a second screen kind of.
Something that Christian would do.
You just... Do we have to cut that?
Nah.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, but see, it's like, it's not a real movie. It's like a series of cameos, references to the original, literal clips from the original. There's a couple of bits where it's like they're inserting themselves into a scene from the original. There's also some really awful CGI, which, I mean, goddamn was it bad. And especially, like I was saying earlier, the filmmaking in the original, not amazing, but it's like a real movie. Whereas in this one, you can tell how digital and just content driven it is, and just how,
like, Adam Sandler, he's been in good films. Does he know when he's making this? Do you know what I mean? Does he sit alone sometimes and watch this in the editing room or in the screening room? And do you think it's damn it?
So, one of the best ironies I think for me is the film obviously centers around Adam Sandler being basically retired from golf, and begrudgingly kind of getting back into it.
Yeah,
it's basically like he's an allegory for him in real life, kind of being. He's done his serious films as well. He's kind of like old and tired about it, but he's trying to push himself into the...
I don't think that's the way he feels. I feel like one of the reasons...
He should feel that way.
Well, yeah, he probably should. But one of the reasons I was, I knew this wasn't going to be good, and one of the reasons I don't like his sort of last 10 or so years of Netflix comedies is because everyone knows they're not real movies. They're paychecks for him and his friends to hang out. So that's why the grown-ups thing. It's he gets all these buddies around.
Pissing in a Letterboxd in this film?
Yes, he was. So it's like, he gets all these friends.
Yeah.
And they go to Hawaii. It's a vacation thing.
He had both his daughters in the film.
Yeah.
And his wife.
And that's what I'm saying is, so over the last 10, 15 years, his career for his mainstream comedies, his career has been, let's get all my buddies, let's do on the studio's dime, on Netflix's dime, go to a nice place, do a couple of dumb scenes, and then spend the rest of the time drinking and hanging out with your friends.
Look, I at least respect that hustle a little bit.
You keep your people
but
fed,
right?
do that and make good movies.
Yeah, but also please make good movies. But Happy Gilmore 2 is that. His wife and daughters are in the movie. All his friends, like I said, all his any athlete or musician or whoever he liked or likes him is in the movie.
Kelsey, what his name
is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's just people keep popping up for no
Bad
reason.
Bunny for some reason.
Yeah. And I'm just like, this is not a real movie. This is part of his slop vacation movie era.
It was like I almost missed like just people being extras. I'm like, I want just regular extras, more so in the film, so that the stars can actually shine rather than to be like, hey, oh wait, that's that guy. That's that guy.
Exactly.
Do you think Benny Safdie gets whiplash from like doing the curse and then like doing this? Like, is it when it's like, oh wow, like
I think
I went from making something real.
I feel like, and as much as I hated Happy Gilmore 2, I feel like everyone making the movie like was having fun.
Yeah.
Like Adam Sandler was all like, I love all my friends and all these famous people and my family, and I want them all around.
You know what?
To revisit this character.
That's true.
Ben Stiller goes from focusing on Severance.
So it's like it's just them. It's just them having a good time, and that's fine. But it's not a good end product.
You can say a lot about Adam Sandler, but I bet the on-set atmosphere is fire.
Oh yeah, 100%. You can tell they're all having fun, and they all like Adam, and they would all not give up, but they would all not put on hold, but they would go from their serious projects to this, because it's like Adam Sandler's a legend, and it's like, yeah, of course I want to be in this Adam Sandler movie, even if it is garbage.
It's like the sloppy content version of Wes Anderson. Everyone wants to work with him, and everyone has a good time, and you do it because you love Adam, and you have a good atmosphere and a good environment. But the product is shit.
And you get paid to hang out and with Adam Sandler, and half the time they're probably just shooting the shit and talking about his old movies and whatever. So I can understand, and in that way. And in some people probably enjoy that feeling of just watching the movie and going like, oh, these are just lots of people having fun and whatever. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not a real movie, and it's not a good movie. It's like, even as a series of cameos and vignettes, it's not funny for the most part, and it looks bad and sounds bad, and it gets weird, and not in a good way.
Not in a good way. It got really strange.
Yeah. So I knew this was going to be straight to streaming, a legacy reboot, cool slop, but I didn't know how bad it was going to get.
We were all surprised. And just
rewatching the original...
And this comes from someone who has a soft spot, maybe too big.
Yeah, and even Callum and Nathan, who I was worried were going to be too forgiving on this movie, and I think Nathan was, trying to sort of be like, oh, come on, guys, it wasn't that bad.
It was.
But I think even they agreed, like, this was like bottom of the barrel garbage.
You could miss this one.
Yeah. And especially rewatching the original and, having, rewatched Role Models and other classic comedies, the original Naked Guns, whatever, other classic movies. It's like you can just see the massive gap of like what comedies used to be and what they are now. And especially, and this falls into the kind of bad rehash sequel reboot thing, which most movies except for a few don't turn out too good in terms of legacy sequels and stuff. So I guess should we do quick spoil? Oh,
yeah,
do you want to say something?
In quick spoilers. So
you want to do spoilers?
We'll go into
spoiler warning for Happy Gilmore 2, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. My favorite scene from this film, because it did have some scenes that were decent, is Lavelle Crawford. Who, he's my favorite character in Breaking Bad. And
Huel?
Huel Babineau.
Yeah.
He plays, sorry, I forgot the name, Slim Peterson.
Yeah, who's Chubbs'
son, yeah.
Which again is just like this very reboot cool, like halfway through the movie, this character is just like, my dad used to train you, now I'm going to train. It's like, where did this character come from? And he also doesn't have a hand.
I appreciate the goofiness of it, where rather than be like a golf guy. He's a mini pack guy.
Yeah.
And he's obviously on a mini pack course, and the kid's there. He's like, but the favorite, like the best, probably one of the best jokes of the film was, he's like, yeah, just you got to watch for the octopus's leg thingy. And the kid's like, you mean a tentacle? He's like, yeah, the testicle. I was just like, that's still got the feel. That's got the right thing to it.
While we're on spoilers, again, the weirdness of his wife dying as soon as the movie starts.
That's another problem. Is like the movie, as soon as the movie starts, they kill off Julie...
Virginia.
Yeah. Julie Bowen's character. And then it's like, Happy Gilmore's depressed and he doesn't play golf anymore. And I was like... out of all the sequel ideas, you could have come up with something else.
I feel like, is that conversation based on Adam Sandler wants to see him when he's working in a supermarket and drinking alcohol from a cucumber? How do we get there?
But he can, they can do that without. Yeah, I mean, they can do that without killing her off.
Yeah,
and it makes it also. It doesn't beat the allegations of not a real movie when it's like you kill off his character's wife and then his real wife just walks in with the real life daughters and he's just like, I'm a character now, and it's just like, what, this isn't even a real movie.
On that, as I have the AI and I am lecherous, I will say Julie Bowen looks, even 30 years later,
she looks good.
more beautiful, if not as beautiful as she did
in
the original.
Yeah. Just another reason not to kill her off and have her around more. And also, like, it's just one of those movies where, they've got so many characters. It's like, not only does he have his daughter played by his real daughter, but he has 4 sons.
One of them is MJF, respect to MJF, the wrestler from AEW.
Yeah.
He's obviously the oldest son.
The beefiest.
The other one's what? Yeah. White Guy Carl, I think, is one of them. From Shameless?
Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't White Guy Carl?
I never watched Shameless.
I never watched the American Shameless.
It was the short kid, I guess, the shortest kid, the young one.
Yeah. But it's like, and there's so many, and then it's like all the golf pros who join Happy Gilmore, and then there's Benny Safdie, who's the bad guy, and then Shooter McGavin comes back, and it's like, remember Shooter McGavin, but now he's a good guy, and then it's like, you got Haley Joel Osment and the bad golfers, like, and it's just like, and we're not even halfway through the movie, and it's like, when is this? What is this? And then you introduce Chubbs' son Slim, and it's like, okay, and then it keeps going, and then when the original movie's finished at 90 minutes, this movie's then like, okay, now we have our final competition between the new golfers and the old golfers, and they're playing this new version of golf called Maxi Golf, which is like this crazy Squid Games, I don't know, game show-esque extreme sport,
tendons cutting their
Ninja Warrior
golf,
and I'm just like, this is so dumb, and it looks dumb, and it's just like, why can't they just play golf? I really hated the whole science fiction explanation as to why the new golfers were as good as Happy Gilmore's Drive. I'm just like, what is this? What are we doing here? You don't need to do this much work to make a sequel. Make a 90-minute comedy about an older golfer. Or don't make it at all. You know what? Because we don't need a Happy Gilmore 2.
No, we
didn't need it.
One. Make something fresh. Make something original.
Yeah.
But that's scary because that's not franchise content.
That's the other thing, and that's why as much as I'm looking forward to the new Naked Gun, like, the only reason it's got this buzz around it, and the only reason probably we're going to go see it at the movies is because it's got that name recognition. It does look good, and I think it will be good, and it's got good filmmakers behind it. But you know what? If original comedy movie, they don't really come out like that anymore. And there was that PSA that we were talking about with Liam Neeson, and it's like, we kind of have to go and support it, because if they don't,
we have to put our money.
If it doesn't do well, then they're not going to make more big budget comedy.
Unfortunately, we do have to put our money where our mouths are. Yeah.
But whether it's good or not, and whether we see it or not, it's like, they're not going to keep making original comedy movies. They're just going to keep rebooting.
And they're doing a new Spaceballs apparently. So
it's just the same old thing. It's like we have to go out and support these movies so they make more, but at the end of the day, they only end up making more reboots and sequels and remakes and stuff, because they know what makes money and it's safer. They're not going to make more original comedies in the same way that they do that they did in the 90s with Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler or whatever.
I feel like we need like A24, some of these smaller studios just to start.
That's exactly what I was going to say next. Is like there was like Friendship, which I saw, and Bottoms, and these other sort of independent or A24 kind of comedy movies. But again, they're smaller budget. They're more, I wouldn't say maybe niche, but they're not big. There's no big comedy stars anymore. There's no big comedy movies anymore. There's no Bill Murray's. There's no Jim Carrey's. There's no Adam
we had Paul Rudd, but then he got absorbed into the Marvel
he's in there in the Marvel
machine.
machine. And even like Chris Pratt, he's funny. He was on Parks and Rec. He's funny. But now he's in the MCU, and now he's part of that machine.
But he was never even really like a big comedy star.
Exactly.
He was just like a TV comedy guy.
There's no like comedy movie stars anymore.
No.
So it's just like, the landscape has changed so much, and Happy Gilmore 2 is just a symptom of a bigger problem, and I mean, I knew it was going to be bad, but geez, like after it finishes, before it finished, when it was like in the last half an hour, I'm like, this is exhausting. There was even a joke, like they're fighting in a graveyard, and it's like all the characters who died previously.
I hated that.
And
so
I was like,
much.
this would be hilarious in a better movie, like in a Naked Gun style spoof movie. Having the character, like the names, the graves of all the dead characters from the previous movies, like that's kind of funny. Like, and they all happen to be buried next to each other.
Yeah, like
that's dumb. That's
the lady
funny.
that the air conditioning fell on.
Yeah,
well. Like
but at that point in the movie,
pissed off.
It was already like an hour in, and it's like they're bringing Shooter McGavin back, but now he's good, and I'm just like
he has to have the fight for redemption first.
Yeah, and it's like we were just talking about the Bob Barker fight and how legendary it was, and this fight was piss weak, and I didn't care, and I'm just like, this sucks. Every joke was bad, and when there could have been a good joke, it was just I was so exhausted by how boring everything was, and how dragged out everything was.
Well, look, we've always got hope. We've got hope for the new Naked Gun movie, at least a little bit.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. But again, we talked about this last week or the week before or whatever, where it's like the comedy might be good, but will the filmmaking be good?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
And that's a big thing we're missing, especially with, like we were just talking about with the original Happy Gilmore.
Look, we might be surprised. We'll see.
Yeah.
Always have to have a little bit of hope as a treat, just a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to more when the good Adam Sandler movies.
There'll always be,
because he's still when he's got good stuff, he's got good stuff. When he does a good job, he does a good job.
Yeah.
So I think weren't the Safdie brothers supposed to be doing that baseball card movie with him? Did they ever make?
I
don't know what happened about that, because one of the Safdies is doing the Rock not Mean Machine, the Smashing Machine with The Rock, and the other Safdie brothers doing Marty Supreme with Timothée Chalamet. So I don't know whatever happened to that Adam Sandler movie. I thought they were filming or had filmed it.
Don't know.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's about all the time we have for tonight.
Yep.
Please subscribe to the YouTube. We want to get to 100 by the end of the year.
Yeah. Only a few to go, so just need a few of you.
Like and subscribe.
Yep.
Yeah, more videos coming out soon on YouTube, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe James will have some shenanigans in MIF that we don't know about. We can throw them up on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
It'll just be James being thrown out of the venue. Like, what is the charge? Watching a movie? A shitty independent movie?
This movie stinks.
We'll do a supercut of James just like getting abused and like yelling at the film. You have no taste. This is slop.
Don't boo, don't boo me. I've heard what
Why
makes
are
you
you booing?
Yeah. I've seen what makes you cheer.
Yeah. Please rate us 5 stars wherever you listen, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you hook in the RSS feed into your app or whatnot with the technology and the widgets and the gadgets. We're also on Letterboxd. I'm Nathan B _90.
I'm Alum20.
I'm channeldrifter, and Callum is Callum Tuesday.
Now we're on some of the socials. We're on Newsmast, Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook. Basically, we're on Substack as well. thetuesdayreview.substack.com.
Yeah. And we secretly browse Twitter and Truth Social.
Yeah, we do, but we don't do much on Twitter.
Callum is
not Truth Social.
Not Truth Social.
You do Truth Social. We don't do Truth Social.
That's where your AI was trained, which is why you're the way you are. And Callum is a Twitter addict, which we need to.
Twitter junkie.
We need to get him off that. But yeah, mostly we're on Blue Sky and Instagram at Tuesday Review AU. Check us out.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week with more content. Adios, cousins.